Welcome, welcome, welcome to Innovations and Best Practices for School Nutrition. Hi, y'all. I'm Maureen G Mulvaney, better known as MGM, and I have been in service to school nutrition for the past 30 years. And today I'm so excited because I have one of my dear special friends and one of my colleagues. Her name is Laura Bulleen Jacobo, and she comes to us from California. Tell us all about what you did in school nutrition, what you're doing in school nutrition, and a little bit of who you are.
I've been in school nutrition for the last 22 years, and I didn't really even know the job existed. I saw a small ad in the classified white pages of a local paper, which tells you how long ago that was. And it said food service director. I love food and I love to direct, so it was a perfect match. And I wanted to reinvent what we were doing. I didn't want to have it school lunch. I wanted to have delicious meals at school. And that's what we did.
What about the marketing of your program? How did you do that?
Marketing is huge, and there's so much potential that it's monumental. And in talking about marketing, I'm very visual. So instead of just serving items on a tray or on a plate, we would stage items in a basket. We would stage items with height. It's very important on the serving line to have height. So at the high school, we would have baskets of fresh fruit and abundance. You don't want to have a small basket with 5 or 10 oranges in it. You want it to be overloaded. You want it to be a cornucopia of fruits and vegetables. No one wants to take the last apple. No one wants the last milk. They want it to be something very plentiful. So we did that. I'm very, as far as colors go too, my staff was right on spot. They knew that you don't put the carrots next to something else orange. We used pops of color. We were to steam the broccoli just perfect so that it was nice and bright and crisp. And then we would also have maybe the dinner rolls next to it. That this was pre-COVID. Everything was not wrapped, but it was just a feast for the eyes, because the eyes do feast first. When you first walk upon that serving counter, you see the different textures and shapes. You see pears and apples and hamburgers and pizza and all of the different items. So you want to generate that before you even choose your item. You're already thinking, wow, that bacon Western cheeseburger sure looks delicious. Look at that crispy onion ring. So texture is important too. Also, when I go to other businesses, I always look and see. There's a very popular coffee shop that does a great job with marketing. I saw their bento boxes, so we initiated a bento box pilot. I saw the wraps, and so I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. Those fast food businesses spend millions on marketing, and I didn't have that type of a budget or the time. So I would, be driving down the freeway and see an ad for a fast food new burger, and I'd say, well, we can do a bacon Western cheeseburger. And then the kids were susceptible to that. They know what's cool and what's not. There's a chicken place that did a bowl. So we did a sriracha chicken bowl with mashed potatoes and corn. It was a huge hit. And it was something that wasn't necessarily school lunch, but it was a delicious lunch they could get at school.
There it is. You're big on not to call it school lunch. Give me your philosophy on that. I love that.
Yes, it is. Those words don't do it justice. It is school lunch, but it's so much more than school lunch. It's delicious meals at school, whether again it be breakfast or lunch. I always like to involve the students too. We had a nutrition advisory group, and they were instrumental in helping with the menu. We did taste testing, we did recipes. We did a smoothie bike, and so we had a stationary bicycle with a blender on the top that we added fruits and spinach, and the students would ride and they'd get a smoothie.
I love that.
We did barbecues. We had 2 beautiful barbecues that we would haul behind our truck and have a barbecue every once in a while for the students. Another thing I did that was very important was I hosted interns. They were dietetic interns that wanted to be registered dietitians. So I was put in contact with a gal that I met at one of our chapter meetings, and she liked what I was doing and asked if I would host these interns. So I ended up hosting interns for about 5 or 6 years, maybe 5 to 6 per year. And they were there for 6 weeks. And it was a wonderful opportunity for both them and myself and my staff, because they were able to work on items that I didn't have time to. They were usually quite young, fresh out of school. They knew all of the Instagram, Facebook, they knew how to do all that. They also were great with graphics and flyers. So I was able to utilize their knowledge and their time to help in my program for a lot of items, labels for the chef salads that we were doing. They did some great one-page flyers. I would also have them go to the preschool. We had a preschool program and do a smoothie day. And so they would go and help the teachers there. So I like to incorporate everyone and everything that I can, because I couldn't do it all.
Well, and that's the other thing with so many people nowadays saying about being short-staffed, it is finding ways to bring in people that will help you, you help them. It's a win-win-win-win-win.
Yes.
So I love
Well, I think I talked to you too, and I love letters, and your name's MGM. And I was thinking just this morning of, it's all about, meals and the mentality, the menus, the marketing, and the mission. And so all of those M's play into it every single day. And I think it's important that you don't lose focus, and you've got to be in those kitchens. I've met quite a few directors that only go to their sites when there's something wrong or when they have to do a site monitoring. It's so important to go in there and work alongside them so that you can not only see what they're doing, but also get to know the students as
we're
well.
almost out of time, but let me ask you this, Laura, what are you doing now? Because you've not only moved on, but you're still at school nutrition. So tell us all about what you're doing right now.
I am going to begin to consult and mentor for other districts that might need someone, whether it's an interim director or to train a new director that isn't familiar with school lunch or could possibly have come from another state where the regulations are different. So what I would like to do is go in and help these directors become successful and know that there are challenges, but these are things that you can do to make the program profitable, because you've got to run it as a business. You can't run it as a offshoot of the school. It needs to be its own business, and you need to be in the black. And there are indirect costs, and if you're in the red, the district's not getting those either. So it's so important to be able to do that. And when you're in the black, you can take your staff to conference. You can buy really nice uniform shirts. You can do all those things that add value to their job.
So, Miss Laura, I would like to say thank you, thank you, thank you. You have been outstanding. I know why you're such a great mentor, because so many of the ideas that you've come up with are so incredible. And the fact that you ran your program in the black. And so I want to say thank you. And to my audience, like my grandchildren always tell me to say, don't forget to click the like button below, because we love to have those likes. If you have any comments or want to say anything about what you're doing that adds value to your school nutrition program, please comment below. I will have Laura's contact information up for you so that you'll be able to contact her, because she's an outstanding mentor and passionate about school nutrition, just as I am. So once again, I'm Maureen G Mulvaney, MGM. I will see you for our next video coming up. I love school nutrition.